What up, guys? How's it going? This is Easy Drawings 101, and this is channel's dedicated entirely comic book related kind of stuff, for the most part, comic books. And so we're gonna go over today how to draw He-Man. I'm gonna do kind of just like a made-up pose. I'm gonna be using this just a colored pencil. It's a plum. I wanted a blue one, but plum's gonna work enough. And there's these brown. This is a brush pen and a graphite, kind of thicker one. I'm going to use probably another one as well, but these are the ones I'm going to use for He-Man. I'm going to do more of a kind of upper body pose, so we'll check that out. So let's kind of get started. I'm going to start it with a blue pencil here. And maybe I'm going to make him in kind of an attack mode. I'm thinking of the kind of first of all circle for the head, just to place it. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to try to go a little darker as well. Remember to try to warm up your arm, you know what I mean? Mostly I'm drawing from the shoulder and the wrist. I mean, shoulder and the elbow. A little bit of the wrist as well. I mean, at least for these large lines. Large line of the kind of arcing of the shoulders, shoulder to shoulder. And then finding where the arms are going to be. I want his sword in his hand, and I want the sword to kind of vignette the bottom to kind of cut off. That's how it's going to cut off the pose. It's around the sword area. All right. Right here, finding the chest. Just kind of rhythm lines I'm finding underneath. I'm being kind of, like I said, messy because I'm going to put a piece of paper over this. It's going to go into this next layer. Thinking of where the neck connects to the shoulder a little bit. Right here, I'm thinking of where the rib cage and the kind of lats are. Rib cage and lats. Where the abs are going to just, connect. The hand. And the other hand's going to be probably a balled up fist for now. He's got, well, pretty much he's going to have a chest plate. Now I'm thinking of the outfit. He's got that bowl cut kind of thing. I don't know how I'm going to make that look cool because it looks pretty damn bad. And then he's got like his kind of axe back here that he saves for himself. This is all just kind of squiggled in on purpose. Reason for this is I really want to get a lot of... I'm thinking of these things in steps. I'm thinking of them first as this layer and this layer, because you don't want to think of 100 different things at one time. You don't want to think about anatomy. You don't want to think about anatomy, kind of form, just kind of like his outfit, and all these things. You don't want to think about them at once, so I do them in steps. So that would be like very basic, right? Very, very basic. I'm gonna put a piece of paper over that. This is a regular piece of paper, by the way. It's actually 11 by 17 is tabloid size paper, but it is normal printing paper, and you can see right through it, enough to the point where, okay, I can see through it. Now I'm going to try to be a little bit more meticulous with my line, and I'm still using this same pencil. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to try to refine, where is his head going to be placed? Where is, where are these things going to be going ultimately, right? So you're trying to solidify that. His head's, the only one's a little foggy in terms of where it is. Kind of pulling that as well up. that bowl cut again, like I said. Ear. Again, I'm just placing these shapes for his eyes. Neck, going back. Should finish this bowl cut first. Going in a little bit more. Finding out where the neck connects, like I said, to the center of the body. And going up. Actually finding that chest plate. Alrighty, sorry my camera cut out, so let's kind of get back into this. So I got him leaning forward, a very typical pose. His neck's gonna look. I have to make sure not to. I mean, he's gonna have a. I want him to have a big neck, right? Because he's a superhero type. But I want to be careful about how I do that and how I go about doing that, because that is really important. So going over here, doing his chest plate, side of his pectoralis over here. Continues going down to that chest plate, really kind of thinking in 3D, really trying to figure out where this would wrap. Right here is pectoralis. That's coming out the side. Sometimes it has like almost his entire chest showing, but I'm not going to really have that. Lat over here, going into his shoulder muscle. You go into his shoulder, attaches right here. This is the deltoid. Deltoid is split up into 3 regions. This is the front deltoid. Kind of ties up here on the clavicle area. The serratus muscles kind of wrap around the rib cage. There's tends to be 4 showing. You know, I think there's 8. I forget, but I think there's 4 showing. I'm not sure if there's 8. Actually, I forgot. Bicep. Biceps made up of 2 muscles, is what they call it. 2 muscles. Right here, the bicep's going to go down into the forearm area. A lot of flexors and extensors. It's going to be brachioradialis, which wraps around here. We're indicating it. The tricep. Tricep is made of 3 muscles. Triceps actually, at certain angles, can be way. Well, I mean, generally is way bigger than the bicep, but in real life, cartoons, it kind of, you know, it can be back and forth. Obviously, there's more biceps showing, you know, because you can see the front of the arm more. Right here, coming down into the forearm, the wrist. He has this brace right here as well. I'm going to draw his fist, kind of holding the sword. Make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to have the hilt of the sword. A ball at the end of it, I forget what it's called. sword. I'm going to put his He-Man sword there. It's kind of mapping it out exactly how thick I want it. There's a taper within it. Really has he's a very cool design to his sword. I really like it. Make sure things line up. Then I have to debate on how far off the page I want this sword to go. There's a few edges on the front of the sword. Going back up here to the chest plate. It's more of a square symbol. I don't know why I threw a circle there. I threw a circle as a placeholder until I get back to it. Now it's time to get back to it. Right here. Right here, the pectoralis. I'm slightly cheating that a little bit. I'm going to move his shoulder a little bit lower on this side. You see the bicep. Tricep around the back there. The forearm. Front of the other side of the rib cage. Down into the abdominal wall. And then you get this belt here. You can see the indication of it. Abdominal wall. There's 8 pretty much. There's usually show 6 of them showing, right? In comics, sometimes they show all 8 really, and especially in comics, you can do whatever you want, right? Let's go over to symbol, circle. Over here. It's kind of this like almost kind of an X kind of thing, a T. Top of the pectoralis over here. Gonna show that coming through. The shoulder, have to be careful, make it proportional. I should make a fist would be easier, but I'm gonna draw his hand open. I just feel like that'd be a more natural state. So I'm gonna do that. You go into his face a little bit more. Tends to be smiling a lot, so I'm going to do that. Maybe he's angry with a... I'm just going to kind of indicate where I want the eyes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw another piece of paper over this. So see, I have this generally down. Couple of things I need to figure out with perspective, but for the most part it's pretty much down. So I'm going to grab this paper, get rid of the one below it, and I am going to put this one over that. And I can vaguely see through it. I'm not even sure you can see it on camera, but now I'm going to go in with the ink, which is the risky part, right? I'm going to go over with the ink. Okay, let's go in. I'm using this kind of brown micron. It's an 01. I'm going to go really very specifically dark on it. I'm going to try to go into the eyes first. I'm gonna make him mad. Go in. I'm thinking about variety and line stroke. Maybe put a little marks here to emphasize kind of the ruggedness of it. Kind of going in here, trying to make the eyes kind of make sense. They're looking one direction. He-Man can look like many things, but I notice he has high cheekbones a lot of times. Give him kind of a angry look. Just gonna give him like kind of see in comics a lot. Over here, the hairdo. Doing that pretty terrible hairdo. That kind of bowl cut thing he's got going. Trying to vary it up. Where is it going to drape over? It's probably going to slightly hit his ear. All that bowl cut. He didn't really have that in the movie. In the movie, Dolph Lundgren, I think he had more of a barbarian mullet kind of thing going on. Going down. Down right here. neck here. Pulling very far down on the kind of breastplate he has. Going here, the pec. Pectoralis. Pulling that even lower. I think that other arm was just way too big. Also, it's going to chamber down into the. I'm going to move that up a little bit because I'm going to move the arm down a little bit, but I can move the whole thing up to kind of fix it. So the rib cage. Right here, that's continuing to follow as before. The tricep, bicep. Over here. Over here, going back to the breastplate. It's not really a breastplate, it's like a sternum kind of plate. Neck. Here. I'll probably jump into those details too quick, but it's just something that, I don't know, I like to do sometimes. I want to comfort myself. It's almost like you're self-comforting. It's okay, it's looking okay. You know, you kind of make sure by doing that. Down a little bit back there. I'm kind of, like I said, adjusting things on the fly as well, even though I'm using this extremely thin, but it's still a pen. It's a, I believe it's more of a, what is this, like more of a fountain type pen, I think. Meaning, like, once you touch it, it's, that line is there. There's not a lot of feathering around. So, I mean, something I have to, again, keep in mind as I'm doing that. Pulling down. Let me see. This is not evening out. This should even out right here. His neck should be there. It should be even. And this is the only thing that should be bulging up. If you want, you can throw, like I said, the sword, I'm sorry, the axe, which I didn't really do that. I should have. I'm just going to have to more or less freehand it. And serratus muscles here. Mm-hmm. Go to the grip. Alright, let's continue on. I'm going to go over here to the sword. Continue drawing along the hand that's grabbing onto the sword. Mm-hmm. He has a couple of different swords, but I'm going to choose to kind of choose this one. I'm going a little bit loose. Going over here to the chest plate. Six-pack area. Continuing to push into the sword. And I'm going to try to pull this in one straight line. Up the rest of the sword. And belt here. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. And that's all of the base. So now I'm going to go into the actual figure. I'm going to go into the next layer, kind of.